Hi Divine Feminines, this is Tara with Divine Readz, wanting to do a special edition for you guys today. I was kind of led to do the reading by like a memory of a story, and the story is about like a channeling that I did months ago. So I'll just kind of start with that and we'll go from there, right? So one day I'm getting ready to record like a general collective reading. It wasn't even like a divine feminine reading. It was just going to be, you know, like a daily collective, right? So it started off with like a young woman who I assumed it was a woman because of the things that were taking place in the reading, right? So she's in a relationship with a person who she questioned how much this person loved her, right? So she was in school, from what I could tell, you know what I'm saying, taking some sort of classes or whatever, and seemed to be like really self-sufficient, right? Kind of independent in the ways of her money looked good, and it looked like she was able to take care of herself on her own. But she wanted this guy to love her so badly, right? And there was a baby in the situation. So I couldn't tell if she was contemplating having a baby or if she was contemplating keeping a baby that she was already pregnant with, right? And so the contemplation came into play, whereas the baby could alter, you know, the trajectory of her life, as children often do. But the question was, would the baby make this guy love her more? Would it strengthen their bond? And I remember crying during the reading because she was so hurt. She was so hurt and so torn about this relationship, about this baby, about the growth of the relationship, and things that would come, right? And so by the time I was done with the reading, I realized that none of it had recorded. It was either none of it recorded or it had stopped so early on in the reading that I really didn't get much of it recorded at all, right? And I couldn't figure out why it happened. At some point during the process of me thinking, trying to figure out what happened, and sitting there having read this reading, felt these emotions, and having had them be so real, it's like, well, where did that come from, right? And so it started to dawn on me that this could be the karmic, okay? The karmic in my personal situation is currently married to my DM, okay? And she's like significantly younger, and you know, she's in school and she's working, and I know from previous experiences and conversations, and you know, from back when I used to, you know, spy on her social media and stuff, that as great as she pretended to feel about everything, there's always been this underlying insecurity about me and my DM's love for me. Okay, and so at the time where the DM was being like super crazy and low vibrational, it meant everything to her for my DM to treat me poorly, and to essentially what I felt like was abandon me and our children, because it made her feel like she was more important, like she was a winner, like he loved her more, and it gave her something that I guess she was lacking or missing in her own life, in her own journey, right? And so anyway, a few weeks later, my DM tells me that his karmic is pregnant, okay? And she spent her entire pregnancy up until this point using the pregnancy to try and bond them closer together. And seemingly it's probably working in a lot of ways. You know, my DM has always been kind of attentive through the pregnancy, you know, cooking, cleaning, going to every doctor's appointment, you know, helping with names and things of that nature. But from my standpoint, it's actually drawing my DM closer to me, right? And so when I was pregnant with our second, is when I found out about her and like the other karmics that he had been dealing with, right? And so it was a super difficult situation, but I pushed through it for my baby, just in terms of, you know, not wanting to instill those negative vibrations throughout my pregnancy, those things that manifest within your child. And so in terms of the narcissistic tendencies of the divine masculine, he was awful. but we pulled together, more so after the doctors had kind of given him a heads up about how stress and the dangers of stress could affect myself and the baby and the pregnancy, and things, you know, going on at home could definitely play like a major factor, right? And although it was really difficult for me, you know, I did what I had to do, and I did it as best as I could, okay? And so now that the karmic is pregnant, and her greatest fear is that he'll do to her what he did to me, right? And so she's having to deal with her own guilt at this time, and I'm sure it's eating away at her. I know there's dreams involved, and you know, even before my DM kind of told me a little bit, there was things that I myself was dreaming about in regards to the karmic, right? And so I could feel her worry. I could feel her eyes on me. I could feel her spying on me. I could sense her trying to send people to spy on me, like third-party friends or family, or even co-workers. I feel like she was trying to just get in on my social media, which is for the most part private, in order to just see what I was doing or see what I was posting. She's been concerned with whether or not my DM and I have been together since they've been married or whatever, and we haven't, because that's just not who I am. But she's concerned, okay, as she should be. But her punishment in itself is her having to deal with the feelings and emotions of worry that the DM is going to leave her, okay? And so that kind of brought me to a point for the divine feminines of where do you go now? What do you do now? Where are you in your current state? Have you healed? Are you healing? Do you still feel feelings of anger or resentment? How are you working through that? And I know, like, just from watching other YouTube videos and reading the comments, that a lot of divine feminines are just trying to figure out what it means when we say do the work, right? What does that mean? How do you do the work? What is the work? Well, it's different for each person, obviously, but collectively, it just means going within yourself, right? So dating back to your earliest memories. What do you remember about your upbringing? What do you remember about your childhood, about going to school, how you interacted with your peers, and how all of those experiences has shaped you into the person that you are, right? Because we all have a shadow. And so it's dealing with your own personal shadow, your lower vibrational attributes, those things about you that the divine masculine triggered within you, right? So you may have been shown some of your qualities. Maybe you're promiscuous. Maybe you like to fight a lot. Maybe you deal with anger issues. Maybe there are some addictions to drugs or alcohol, or have been in the past. Maybe you're heavy in gossip, or have been in the past, keeping up mess and things of that nature. And sometimes it's helpful to get a personal reading in order to kind of point some of those things out. Another thing that you can also do, which is really basic, is just going to like Cafe Astrology and getting a birth chart report if you've never done that before, and read it from top to bottom. See how you resonate with the characteristics that are labeled there for you, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Another thing I was going to say is part of the reason why I feel like I even got that channeling for the karmic at that time was to kind of help me see some of what she was going through, like on the other side of it. Because it's really easy to hate the karmic. It's really easy to dislike the karmic and to feel like the karmic is out to get you, because in many ways that's just what it is. But the karmic is also on their own journey, okay? And so a lot of their low vibrational aspects are also being called into question. They're also being called into light, right? And so nobody is getting away from this unscathed. Everybody has a lesson. Everybody ends up hurt, and everybody ends up needing to heal. Now, whether you do the work or not is obviously up to you, because you have free will, all right? But if you want to make it to the other side of this, then that's pretty much what you do, right? So I'm going to start with Now, we have seduction, okay? Starting with seduction, it says attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party, interference. And so this is for the divine feminine who is possibly dating, wanting to date, starting to date, maybe having like hookups, maybe like a casual thing with someone. Maybe you're just attracted to other people, right? But I'm going to say this is not the DM simply because of the vibe of the things that are going on. But it could be the divine masculine in some situations, right? Because it's a collective reading. And so I'm going to pull a clarifier for seduction for the divine feminine. Please show me what I need to see for seduction for the divine feminine, please. All right, so there is, I don't know, this is like something coming in fast, something that's happening fast, some sort of communication possibly. Maybe the divine feminine is wanting to cut out something or someone who she's been like flirtatious with or hooking up with, someone that she's been dating. This could also be wanting to cut out the third party interference, right? With the Queen of Swords, right? So removing people, places, and things that do not serve you. And so maybe it's the seduction aspect. So maybe we are, you know, kind of talking about like the sexual nature of the divine feminine, the current state of things, right? So sometimes when you sit idle for too long, which, you know, we're all kind of quarantined here, thoughts of sex, wanting to be intimate, wanting to be touched or held, and so maybe there's some things that are going on with some of our divine feminines that we're needing to make a decision about in terms of emotions, emotional state, how you're pleasing yourself during this time. Show me one more card for seduction, please. One more card for seduction for the divine feminine. All right, so we have the Ace of Wands. So, all right, so we've got 2 wand energy cards. So this is definitely action oriented, but it's also passion. So maybe this is like something really hot and heavy that's going on right now, but it's something that you know you need to end, divine feminine, okay? Because it's not your divine masculine, which automatically makes it a third party, okay? And so you're wanting to work to move out of this situation, but it's probably satisfying you in some way. And so there's some work that needs to be done. Let's pull out a surrender card and let's see what the suggestion from spirit is in how to move away from this situation if that is what you are wanting to do. All right, 1 card for the divine feminine. 1 card, spirit, please, for the divine feminine. All right, so we have surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own powers. Let others come to you. So there's no need for you to go out and look or search. This is a time to be still, as we all know. This is a time to focus in on your own power. So the divine feminine is needing to go within. And I know from myself, I spent a lot of time self-reflecting and in solitude. And then I kind of came out of my shell a little bit and I started enjoying life and, you know, trying to have fun, trying to be celebratory and enjoying friends and family and doing things. And now I'm kind of also being called to kind of go back and retreat, go within, to pray, to meditate, to think and to self-reflect, because I'm being kind of called to use my light to kind of guide the people around me at this time, right? So there's a lot of fear going on. People are very afraid about the condition of things, the state of things, what this is going to look like, how this is going to change us, you know, with work, with finances, with providing for the family, with dealing with stress and the stresses of being home, feeling trapped, having to deal more with the children, or having different dynamics with the spouse if you live with someone. It's just a lot of changes that are going on right now. And so I'm needing to be more grounded so that I can be more grounded for the people around me, the people that are in my circle, but also the people who come to me for readings, for guidance, right? And so if this is something that you resonate with, take a little more time for yourself, right? You don't need to seek out anyone. You don't need to seek out love. You don't need to seek out affection. You don't need to seek out sex. You don't need to seek out people to help, because they will find you. They will come to you. God will shift them in your direction. Okay. So that works in all facets. Okay. And so the next card is talking. It says interested, conversing more, awaiting message. Awaited message arrives, text, call, email, or hovering. All right. So this is kind of interesting. So this could just be communication, right? Lots of communication going on. I did like a 3-hour video chat with my cousins last night, and that was super cool. I'm originally from another state than which I reside, but I've been here for like 20 years. And so I don't get to see them often anyway, but it was really nice to do something that we probably should be doing regularly anyway. But everybody lives different lives, right? And we're all on different trajectories and different time frames. And so we've all been kind of using this time to get in touch and to check in and to kind of, you know, use each other to lean up against at this time so that we're not like at home going stir crazy. Right, so let's see what the talking card is about for the Divine Feminine. See, look at there, 3 of Cups. So this could be getting back in communication with old friends. This could be family. This could be, you know, sisters, or just a close-knit group. It feels like a reconciliation energy. So this could also be the Divine Masculine, because there is an 8 of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. So this could be someone who walked away from you, or who you walked away from in the past. Someone who went off on their own journey to seek some sort of enlightenment, who's come back, who's returning. So let's see why they are returning. Why they're returning. We've got the 5 of Swords. Okay, so this feels really stressed. They're possibly returning because they're stressed. Possibly because they didn't feel like they were winning without you. Things were very hard without you. They may be feeling guilted to return because of the way that they left things. Because of the way that things... This sneaky energy with this 7 of Swords... they're kind of being called out probably by spirit to return, to mend things because of the way that things were left. Okay, so they're kind of being forced almost to do this reaching out. Okay, so however this applies, take it as it resonates. Okay, let's see what else we got. Yeah, we've got the Moon card here. All right, and so again, secretive energy, things not being illuminated. Maybe they don't even know why they're being called to contact you. They have no idea why you're on their mind, but they can't get you out of their head. And so they're hitting you up to see if maybe you have a message for them. This also, I'm seeing the Moon in the 7 of Swords as well. Let's see. This could have something to do with dreams. You've been dreaming of them, or they've been dreaming of you. It's bothering them. I feel like someone thought that they had gotten, I almost feel like got you out of their system. Maybe they feel like they owe you an apology, and so maybe that's what this communication is, calling you to apologize, right? I'm seeing the Justice card here, and so this is making things balanced, making things fair. They're seeing things differently, seeing things from a different perspective. Maybe it's because they've changed, they've gone through some kind of change. Maybe their behavior has been reflected back to them, and it's allowed them to see how they behaved in your situation. All right, I'll move on. I got heart with the key. It says, welcome in love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect. All right. And so this could be someone having the key to your heart, you having the key to someone else's heart. I'm getting like unlock the magic. And so we're opening up some sort of new door, new gateway, new path. Maybe the divine feminine is kind of becoming a little bit more in tune with her emotional state at this time, just because going through everything that the divine feminine has gone through, it has left her, or at some point it leaves the divine feminine closed off to love, not wanting to be vulnerable, right? When you feel like your heart has been broken, and you've mended it, once you feel like, you know, you're together enough to kind of move forward, then you want to protect it. You want to protect it as best as you can. And so I feel like there's something going on with the divine feminine where you are opening up. I don't even know if this is a voluntary thing. It's just kind of happening. So this could be a Capricorn in your energy. Divine feminine could be a Capricorn. And I say that very specifically because the Devil card came out, and I don't like to shoot straight to the evilness of what the Devil card could imply. Okay, it could be that the person or people or situation that you are considering opening up yourself to could be temptation. Okay, it could be because it feels good. It could be because someone is giving you something and you feel like you're receiving something that you want. But I ask you to call into question the feelings and emotions that you are working in. What are those energies that you're working in when you get this offer? Nine of Pentacles. And so it feels like maybe you're questioning if this is a blessing, if this is something that you're being gifted from the universe, from God. You're not sure if this is a negative or a positive, right? So trying to evaluate that, okay? I feel like this could be a part of your transformation. It could be a test. It could also be something that you need to end. So let's see if we can get some advice. I'm going to pull a surrender card for this one as well. And we'll see what Spirit is urging for the divine feminine that may be in a situation where she's trying to figure out if what's currently happening in the heart space is something of a positive nature, or if it's something that needs to be removed. All right. So I got surrender to setting limits. It says it is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs. And remember that no is a complete sentence. So maybe someone is asking of you more than you have to give, more than you're willing to give, more than you are being guided to give or to allow. And so the divine feminine is being reminded to set limits, to set boundaries in all relationships, in all facets, okay? Don't allow anyone or anything to put more on you than you are capable of handling at this time, right? Because you need to take care of yourself first. You need to come first. So you need to be in your strength and in your power in order to be of use to anybody else around you, okay? So the last card here is heartbroken, and it says deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, or mourning. All right, so there's a somber, sad energy here, and this could be obviously because the divine feminine is in separation from the divine masculine, but this could also be something that's completely untied to the divine masculine, and this could just be hurt and sad, feelings of pain. You could be feeling lost at this time. There could also be a death in your midst. Maybe you have lost someone, or you're losing someone. Someone could be ill. A lot of people are in a time right now where people are they're dying from illnesses, but they're not all COVID-19. Okay, some people are sick for other reasons. So we're still battling all of those cancers. We're still battling all of those heart diseases. We're still battling, you know, people are still getting into accidents every day. And so there could be something that's going on for the divine feminine that I'm channeling right now. So let's kind of see what this heartbroken energy is for the divine feminine. All right, so we're sad. We are sad because the divine feminine is really wanting to be in the Queen of Cups energy. Okay, it's really wanting to be in the Queen of Cups energy, and whatever this situation is, this ain't it. So we're gonna have to cut it off. Okay, we're gonna have to King of Swords it, right? So you want clarity, this is your clarity. You wanted an answer, this is your answer. Maybe you came here trying to see if this resonated with you, to see if you can get some sort of guidance in a situation that you have been contemplating, that you've been debating. It's a romantic situation with the Page of Cups, but I feel like it's not necessarily a situation that you're really deep into, but it was definitely something that you were hoping would go somewhere, or something that you could at least enjoy for a little while. Spirit is saying no. Spirit is saying not at this time. This is not the one. I also see a Ten of Swords energy. And so I don't know if this is necessarily a betrayal of you or this person, but maybe it's just like another feeling of loss, you know, and that's why the divine feminine may feel betrayed. This could just be a feeling of, not again, I'm losing again. I don't have, you know, the love that I want. I don't have the relationship that I want. I'm not able to be this person that I want to be. But let's just be clear. Right? So it's one thing about wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to be able to be like a nurturing, caring, giving, right, Queen of Cups. Okay. But I promise you, if you give yourself all this same energy, you will feel so much better. If you have not discovered that yet, I call you into action to try that for yourself. All the things that you would do for your partner, all the love that you would display. I want you to try and give that to yourself. Okay. I want you to pour into you and watch the glow up. Just watch the glow up. Yeah. Put that work into yourself, and God will put that work back into you. Okay. It's kind of like, how do I say it? It's kind of like the circle of, it's the never ending learning circle of the divine journey, of the twin flame journey. Okay. Like your DM is coming back eventually, but not a second before the timing is divine. Right? So what do you do in the meantime? Yeah, you can go and try and find other relationships that will be fun on some level, that will be distracting on some level, that will give you something to do. But it's not going to feed you the way your relationship with your divine masculine would feed you. It's not going to feed you the way that you could feed yourself. So you could spend all your time wasting your time trying to recreate something that you already know exists, or you could do a whole bunch of other things to gain enlightenment, to gain your personal happiness, to be free, Like, use this time to be in your freedom. Let's see what is the surrender suggestion for this placement. All right, give me one card here for the Divine Feminine. One card, please, Spirit. All right, it says surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. Okay, so I know when we think of addictions, we think of these terrible things that, you know, that kill your body and make you look horrible, and, you know, make you like steal from your family, and, you know, rob, and, you know, go to jail or need rehab and blah, blah, blah. So let's just say, for instance, that this quarantine is God's way of sending you to rehab, right? And so you are now here. You're sitting here. You have all this time on your hands, or you're busy as hell with a whole bunch of stuff and you have no idea how to navigate it, right? This is an opportunity for you to sit still, close your eyes, and think. Think about where you've been, think about where you are, and think about where you want to go, okay? And I want you to ask yourself what is stopping you from getting to where you want to go. And not on a low vibrational sense, not like a person is standing in my way, but how are you standing in your own way? What are the things that you've been doing that keep you from moving forward? Is it because you're a procrastinator like me and you push everything to the back burner until the very last minute? And then you feel overwhelmed because you have so much on your plate? Is it because you are a workaholic and you always need to be moving, and now being forced to sit still is driving you insane? How can you make that feel better to you for this moment in time? Do you meditate? Do you listen to music? Can you jam out in a session? Maybe take a long shower, just washing all of the worry away. Try a bath, maybe a healing bath, right? Maybe play with your kids. Get down on the floor, play some games with them, do like a karaoke. Go outside, go for a walk, go for a run. I know the pollen here is crazy, so I haven't really been going outside all that much. But we definitely did like a family 13-minute cardio video on the TV the other day, and that was super fun. And even my 1.5-year-old was able to get in on that, and he enjoyed that as well. So there's other things that you can do if you are battling more serious addictions, like drugs or alcohol. You can still call and seek professional assistance, and I will try to find some numbers and I'll put them down in the descriptions for you guys. And if you are feeling more than overwhelmed, if there's like a lot of crying, if there's a lot of sorrow, if you are having anxiety, there's also things that you can do for that as well. And I am available. Just shoot me an email. Even if you're not purchasing a reading and you just need someone to talk to, I am here and I'm holding space specifically for the things that I can assist with spiritually, okay? And so, last but not least, I have some Fool's Wisdom cards, some oracle cards that I want to pull, and I will grab these. Let me shuffle them up real quick. And we'll just kind of do like 3 cards across, and we'll just see what the messages are. They can sometimes be a little lengthy because I'll do like my own little interpretation, but then the book has its own interpretation, and so I want to give you the most out of it. So 3 cards, please. 3 cards. All right. So the first card is the Duty Fool. It says, assume all duties with love in your heart. the forceful. All true power comes from spirit. And the painful. Face your pain. All right? So some of you divine feminines are being called into duty. You're being called into action, okay? And so some of you might actually be in the military and you have some work to do. Armed forces of some kind, right? Some of you are nurses or doctors, or you work in the medical field, or you are considered essential during this time of crisis, okay? And so stand strong, stand tall, keep the faith, be in your prayer, and do this with a love in your heart. I know it's not easy, and I know you are at risk, and we thank you for your sacrifices, and we thank you for your abilities, and we thank you for the opportunity to assist, okay? We all have a job to do, okay? And so everyone is just doing what they can. And just know and understand that you are appreciated, even if nobody else tells you, I love you, okay? And so the next card, the forceful, says all true power comes from spirit. Okay, and so if you're feeling weak, if you feel like you can't go on, if you feel like you don't know what to do, pray about it. Sit still, pray about it, and listen. Listen for guidance, listen for answers. I mean, it doesn't always come in the form of a dream. Sometimes it comes in the form of a random phone call to somebody to bring up something that sparks a thought or sparks an action, or someone just to call and cheer you up, just to let you know that you're loved, that you're appreciated, right? And sometimes it's a little bit more clear than that. Sometimes you need to go to your book. So if you're a Bible reader, maybe there's a scripture that you always go to. Maybe there is something that you do, like maybe a ritual or something. But go to spirit, go to God, go to the divine, to the universe, whatever you call it, and ask for clarity, ask for strength, ask for wisdom, ask for mercy. Okay, and the third card says the painful. Face your pain. So don't close your eyes to the situation. Don't close your eyes to the pain. It's okay to feel it, because you have to feel it in order to move through it. It doesn't go away, and it'll manifest in other areas of your life. It can manifest in your body. And so in order to keep that from happening, we just kind of want to deal with it. We want to face it. We want to look at it. We want to analyze it. And we want to try and work through it, okay? So the one that I've been called to the most is the 14 card, forceful. And so I'm going to read this one to you guys. And it says, the forceful appears to you as a reminder to tune into the divine life force flowing through you this very moment, and recognize that it gives you the power to achieve everything you desire. The great teacher, Jesus Christ, once said of this holy divine force, of myself I can do nothing. It is my Father in heaven who does the work through me. To access the energy, simply direct the holy life force flowing through you toward your desired outcome with confidence and gratitude. Humans are vessels through which this divine force of consciousness flows. Tapping into this power with focused intention can create miracles. When you forget to align yourself with this unlimited universal energy and instead rely on the extremely limited force of your ego, you disconnect from and actually go against the natural flow of life. So you're not only cutting yourself off from this source of power, you're turning it against you, which will lead to future problems and challenges. This is an incredibly foolish mistake, although sadly, it's one made by many. The forceful is presented to counsel against such a needless error. You're on the verge of achieving many significant breakthroughs and accomplishments, but remember that of yourself, you can do nothing. Tap into the universal life force flowing through your body by breathing deeply. With gratitude and confidence, surrender to this divine will and let the force of the Holy One carry you to success. Give up your personal struggle and allow a higher force to work through you. Put aside all fears and limitations and affirm that thy will be done. Work with the holy force of life that's available to you and become one with the divine. Trust in the outcome of your intentions and desires, always breathing and letting go. Never mind that some may call such deliberate and confident intentions foolish. In the end, the divine force always prevails, and any intention outside of God's will fails. May the force be with you. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I thank you so much for staying. Please like, share, comment, or subscribe to the content for future readings.